Hi, my name's Renata. Welcome to my YouTube channel, which is mainly dedicated to intercultural communication, expat life, job search across cultures, and foreign language learning. This specific video is about foreign language learning, and even more specifically, about TOEFL, the new TOEFL. I'm an English language teacher, and I teach test preparation, mainly for TOEFL and IELTS. Check out my other videos on my YouTube channel about the difference between those two tests if you're interested. And check out one more video about the new TOEFL as of January 2026. So there's already one video about the new test in general. The test consists of 4 parts, which is reading, listening, speaking, writing. So I've decided to make a specific video dedicated to each of the 4 parts. This is the video about TOEFL listening. It provides you with a lot of examples and you can practice, but I'll also show you where you can find this information and where you can keep up to date on what's going on with the new test and what it's going to look like. As always, I'm going to share my screen with you. So you'll be able to see the slides and you're going to be able to listen to those listening passages to practice listening for the new TOEFL as of January 2026. So if you're taking the TOEFL in November or December 2025, or even at the beginning or mid of January 2026, it will be the current or old format. Towards the end of January, about around the 21st or 26th of January, they're going to switch to the new TOEFL. And this is what the new TOEFL listening will look like. Here's also the information where you can find all the things I'm going to present to you. So go to ets.org/TOEFL to find all information pertaining to the TOEFL, the current format and the new format as of next year. And you can download entire practice tests, overviews, detailed information. Anything is available to you on those websites. You can also find an overview of the 4 parts. Like I said, there's another video that goes over that. But in this video specifically, I'm going to use examples from practice test 1 that ETS has published on their website. And we're going to look specifically at TOEFL listening, the new format for next year. Listening will consist of 4 different parts. Part 1 is listen and choose a response. Part 2 is listen to a conversation. Part 3 is listen to an announcement. And Part 4 is listen to an academic talk. Now, listen to an academic talk is the only thing you're going to be familiar with because that's sort of the same, very similar, or pretty much the same to what TOEFL uses now. Currently, you have academic talk, meaning a conversation, a campus-related discussion, or even listening to a lecture. That's what TOEFL does right now. As of end of January 2026, there will be a progressive test. So it starts with something seemingly easy. Listen and choose a response depending on how you do. You will then listen to a conversation depending on how you do. You move on to announcements, and then you move on to the most difficult part, listen to an academic talk. So it's a progressive test. It tests your skills right from the beginning, and it tries to give you level appropriate input. This is all new. So part 1, 2, and 3 is completely new to the TOEFL. The only thing they kept that is similar or almost the same is part 4. And I'm going to give you examples for each of the 4 parts here in this video. So let's start with part 1, listen and choose a response. So here's an example. A woman could say, "Didn't I just see you in the library an hour ago?" And then you have to say which of the 4 options is a useful response, what actually makes sense. So whenever you want to pause the video, and I highly recommend it, pause it if you need time to read, and then press play again and to hear the answer. You want to read the 4 options? Press pause now. You're back to hear the answer? All right, here we go. The answer is, as a matter of fact, I was returning a book. Why? Because yes, you can find it in the reference section, makes absolutely no sense as a response. Neither do I don't think I'll have enough time to do that, or actually, I think I can get there a little earlier. So those answers, those responses don't make any sense whatsoever. The only one that does is the first one. So in this example, and that's the way how you find it on the ETS website when you download practice test one, you actually see the question. On the real test, you won't. This is the listening part. You will hear the question. This is just for the purpose of showing you that you actually see the question. So just imagine the question not being printed on the screen. You will only hear a woman say, "Didn't I just see you in the library an hour ago?" And the only thing you see are the four possible responses. Okay, here's another example. If you need time to think about the answer, just press pause now. You're back for the answer. The answer is, I can help you find it. Why not the other answers? Well, where is the nearest bus stop? I nearly missed the bus. Well, that doesn't give us the location of the bus stop. Every 30 minutes, that's like how often does the bus come, not where is the bus stop. And I'll take the subway instead. Again, completely unrelated. I hope that makes sense. Here's another one. Press pause if you need more time. What's the answer? The answer is use the convenient chat feature. Now, some are not so straightforward, like how do I connect, how do I contact customer service? Yes, you're allowed to do that. Well, we're not asking for permission. No, I don't mind. Well, we're not asking that, and they provide good service. So this is how they want to trick you. You don't really understand the question. You see service. The answer has service in it. Well, rest assured, the answer that copies words from the question is most likely not the correct answer. You can use a convenient chat feature is the only thing that actually makes sense. Here's another one. Please press pause if you need time to read and think. You're back. That means you want to know what the answer is. The answer is, how about tomorrow night then? Make sense? I hope it does. There are a few more. Here's number 5. Press pause again if you need more time. What's the answer? The answer is, let's check the schedule online. That's the only one that makes sense. We're not talking about a package. Where it is around the corner. No, it's when it's open. And I think he's come home already. That makes no sense whatsoever. Here's another one. Press pause if you need more time. You're back for the answer? The answer is, you haven't given me your number yet. The others just don't make sense. 2 more. Press pause if you need more time. Okay, so the store is open for business all weekend? Yes, they're having a huge sale. The others don't make sense. 1 more, last one. Press pause if you need more time. You're back for the answer? Okay. So sometimes you may go like, well, none of the answers make sense, right? So did you attend the seminar? Well, the correct answer is I overslept. We don't actually say whether we attended the seminar or not, but if you overslept, you probably didn't attend. That makes sense. You cannot say no, not very well, because what is that supposed to mean? You did not attend the seminar very well? Have you asked your professor? Has nothing to do with it, and I forgot to look? Look, no, it's about attend. So I overslept, which seems unrelated, is actually the only thing that makes sense. So that's what part 1 is like. Listen and choose a response. Depending on how well you do, you move on to a different, let's say, difficulty level. For part 2, listen to a conversation. So now I'm not going to show you questions or conversations or anything anymore. Now you have to actually listen. So listen to the following conversation.
Need anything from the supermarket?
Huh? Aren't we getting ready to go see that play in a few minutes?
That's tomorrow.
Oh, wow. I'd forget my head if it wasn't screwed on. Guess I don't need to change my clothes after all.
So, you weren't planning to prepare dinner?
No, but I can. What do you want?
Just something light and healthy. So, can you go shopping instead?
Yeah, sure. How about salmon and salad? Want anything else?
No, that's good.
Okay, that's the conversation. If you have taken the TOEFL before, you may have noticed one major change. Whereas before, the accent of the speakers were predominantly US American, now they try to offer a mixture of different accents from different native speakers of English from different places around the world. So that's another change you will notice when taking the new TOEFL. Okay, so here's our first question about this conversation. What does the woman imply that she was about to do? If you need to read the answers and need more time to think, please press pause. If you're ready to see the answer, here it is. Go shopping. And here's our second question. Why does the man say, I'd forget my head if it wasn't screwed on? What does he mean by that? If you need more time to read the answers, please press pause. If you're back to see the answer, this is the answer. He means he forgot about the timing of their plans. It really means I forget a lot of things. If my head wasn't firmly screwed on, meaning firmly attached to my body, then I would forget everything. That's pretty much what it means. Okay, so you will only hear the conversation, you will not see it. But the question, of course, you see it and the answers. When you download a practice test from the ETS website, and I highly recommend you do look at the um, audio texts or transcripts because then you can actually see what they say. So this is a very good exercise indeed. If you don't want to do it, move ahead in the video, but I'm now going to play the conversation one more time. And here is the written transcript of what they're saying. This is a great exercise to improve your listening skills. If you listen to it for the first time and you're like, well, I kind of understood, but there were a couple of words, or I'm not entirely sure what they said, this is what you should always do. Listen again and read along. Identify what the words are that you didn't understand, or the combination of two or three words that were connected too fast. Analyze it that way and listen several times until you don't need to read along anymore. You can actually listen to the listening passage without having to do that and with actually fully understanding every single word. That's a fantastic listening exercise. And you can do that by downloading practice tests like that because they will provide you with the audio track as well as the transcript. So I'm going to let it play again and you can read along. And if you don't want to do it, then just move ahead with the video to the next part.
Need anything from the supermarket?
Huh? Aren't we getting ready to go see that play in a few minutes?
That's tomorrow.
Oh, wow. I'd forget my head if it wasn't screwed on. Guess I don't need to change my clothes after all.
So, you weren't planning to prepare dinner?
No, but I can. What do you want?
Just something light and healthy. So, can you go shopping instead?
Yeah, sure. How about salmon and salad? Want anything else?
No, that's good.
Okay, that's it. So time to move on to listen to another conversation. Here we go.
Did you see the maintenance request about the air conditioning?
Yes, I called the technician this morning. They said someone should be here shortly.
That's a relief. It's getting uncomfortably warm in here.
I know, I called as soon as I noticed. Hopefully, it's just a minor issue and they can get it working again without too much delay. In the meantime, why don't you go out to lunch early? Maybe it'll be better when you get back.
Okay, that's the conversation. Here's our first question. Why did the woman call the technician? Press pause if you need more time to read the answers. If you're ready, here's the correct answer. A room is too hot. So they're calling for an air conditioning or AC technician. And what does the woman suggest the man do? Once again, press pause if you need more time. The answer is take a break early. Once again, if that was too fast, the thing I recommended about listening again and reading the transcripts is highly recommendable. So here we go again. If you don't want to do it, just move the video bar ahead and go to the next part.
Did you see the maintenance request about the air conditioning?
Yes, I called the technician this morning. They said someone should be here shortly.
That's a relief. It's getting uncomfortably warm in here.
I know, I called as soon as I noticed. Hopefully, it's just a minor issue and they can get it working again without too much delay. In the meantime, why don't you go out to lunch early? Maybe it'll be better when you get back.
All right, you can repeat that as many times as you like. That's really good listening practice. Now let's move on to part 3, listen to an announcement. I'm going to let you listen first, and then you'll see the questions about the announcement. Here we go.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm excited to inform you that Dr. Cynthia Palmer, a renowned expert in environmental science, will be giving a guest lecture next Monday at 2 p.m. in Waldman Auditorium. Dr. Palmer will discuss the latest advancements in sustainable energy solutions and their impact on global climate change. Due to her popularity and the high interest in her work, I highly recommend arriving early to secure.
Okay, to secure a seat. Somehow the rest of it wasn't there. Arrive early to secure a seat. Okay, here's our first question. What is the announcement about? Press pause if you need more time. If you're ready, the answer is guest lecture. Second question, why does the professor mention Dr. Palmer's popularity? Press pause if you need more time. If you're ready, the answer is to explain why students should arrive early. They said arrive early to secure a seat. Well, that's due to her popularity. Due to, that's what the speaker said. Once again, here you can listen again and read along if you want to know exactly what the exact words were the speaker said. Here we go.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm excited to inform you that Dr. Cynthia Palmer, a renowned expert in environmental science, will be giving a guest lecture next Monday at 2 p.m. in Waldman Auditorium. Dr. Palmer will discuss the latest advancements in sustainable energy solutions and their impact on global climate change. Due to her popularity and the high interest in her work, I highly recommend arriving early to secure.
Yeah, and it's gone. To secure a seat. Well, that's a minor issue that was in the audio track. Of course, you need to hear that to answer the other question. That's what I told you, that they said arriving early to secure a seat. All right, so this is what listen to announcements looks like. And let's move on to the last part, part 4, listen to an academic talk. I'm going to let you listen again, and then I'll show you the questions about the talk. Here we go.
Did you see that new thriller movie that came out last week? I did, and loved it. The action, the plot twists. I was totally captivated. Time just flew by. Not a single thought occurred to me that was unrelated to the movie. What I experienced is what psychologists call hard fascination. Hard fascination means intense focus and concentration. Whether it's TV programs, video games, hard fascination is all too easy to come by in this modern world. There's another type of fascination, soft fascination. There's still effortless attention, meaning that no special effort is required for you to stay focused, but there's still room for other thoughts. When I take a walk in the park and look at the flowers and trees, for example, I might be thinking in the back of my mind about my dinner plans. Now, one thing to know is hard fascination causes mental fatigue. The mind is so intensely focused that it gets tired fast. What follows mental fatigue? You might find yourself easily distracted, irritable, and stressed. Soft fascination, in contrast, engages a different part of the brain, the DMN, or default mode network, which soothes the mind and helps combat mental fatigue. So next time you feel your mind is on overload, turn off the TV, put down your phone. Take a walk.
Take a walk and look at the clouds. Once again, the last couple of seconds are missing. Take a walk and look at the clouds. All right, here's the first question. What is the topic of the talk? Once again, press pause if you need more time. If you want to see the answer is 2 types of fascination. Remember, she was talking about hard fascination and soft fascination. So it's not only about one or the other, it's 2 types. It's not about how you keep the mind focused. That's one particular part, or there's no study specifically she's talking about. So if they say, what is the topic of the talk, they want the most generic, the most general summarizing answer you can give. So 2 types of fascination. Why does the speaker mention a movie? So again, pause if you need more time. Okay, so the answer is to introduce a concept in psychology, which is the concept of 2 types of fascination, soft and hard fascination. So the movie is just an example. We're not talking about different types of movies. We did not talk about how the movies affect emotions, and definitely the professor does not encourage listeners to watch the movie. It's a mere example to introduce the concept of fascination. Here's another question about the talk. What does the speaker say about her walk in the park? Press pause if you need more time to read the answers. If you're back for the answer, here it is. Her mind has space for thoughts unrelated to nature. So walk in the park, she's admiring nature, but she still has the mental capacity to think about her dinner plan, remember? And so that was an example for soft fascination. The other answers are just a description or not even correct. So she gets mental fatigue from her mind engaging in hard fascination. Well, here's some things what they do. So in the talk, they did say that heart fascination can cause mental fatigue, but that's not an answer to the question. The question was, what does the speaker say about her walk in the park? And the walk in the park was an example for soft fascination because her mind has space for thoughts unrelated to what she's mainly doing, which is the walk in the park and paying attention to nature. Okay, one more question. What does the speaker say about default mode network? Press pause again if you need more time. And the answer is, it is involved in soft fascination. So after her example of the walk in the park, which was an example for soft fascination, she explains that default mode network is what we have as a description to actually relieve mental fatigue and to help you relax. Once again, if seeing the entire text while listening helps you, here's another listening exercise for you to do. If you're not interested, move ahead in the video, but I highly recommend you do that. It's the greatest listening exercise ever if you're not entirely sure what you heard. So listen as you're reading along and then listen several more times until you are fully capable to understand every single word. Here we go.
Did you see that new thriller movie that came out last week? I did, and loved it. The action, the plot twists. I was totally captivated. Time just flew by. Not a single thought occurred to me that was unrelated to the movie. What I experienced is what psychologists call hard fascination. Hard fascination means intense focus and concentration. Whether it's TV programs, video games, hard fascination is all too easy to come by in this modern world. There's another type of fascination, soft fascination. There's still effortless attention, meaning that no special effort is required for you to stay focused, but there's still room for other thoughts. When I take a walk in the park and look at the flowers and trees, for example, I might be thinking in the back of my mind about my dinner plans. Now, one thing to know is hard fascination causes mental fatigue. The mind is so intensely focused that it gets tired fast. What follows mental fatigue? You might find yourself easily distracted, irritable, and stressed. Soft fascination, in contrast, engages a different part of the brain, the DMN, or default mode network, which soothes the mind and helps combat mental fatigue. So next time you feel your mind is on overload, turn off the TV, put down your phone. Take a walk.
And the last part is missing. Take a walk or simply sit and stare at the clouds. Okay, that's the fourth and last part. So TOEFL has those four parts: reading, listening, writing, speaking. This particular video was about listening. There is another video about reading, and I'll be making more videos about writing and speaking as we come to the end of 2025 to prepare you for what's to come with TOEFL in 2026. Once again, here's the website where you can find all information and the more detailed website where I downloaded the overview. And on that website, ets.org/TOEFL, you can also find the practice tests I mentioned in this video. If you're looking for a TOEFL teacher, please contact me. My name is Renate Urban. You can find my name online or my business name, Urban Training and Services. You can contact me through my website or connect with me on LinkedIn. So thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe. I'll be making more videos as we're coming to the end of 2025 to prepare you for the new TOEFL 2026. And like I said, if you have any questions, write them in the comments or reach out to me for one-on-one TOEFL and IELTS lessons. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day. Goodbye.